Protect your online privacy with NordVPN. Browse securely, access content from anywhere, and keep your data safe with military-grade encryption. NordVPN.com. That's NORDVPN.com. Not just a glove, it's a 44 Pro. Crafted with dedication, made for performance, and built to last. Get your custom glove today at 44pro.com and experience the 44 Pro difference. That's 44pro.com, 44 Pro.
Our patented handles were launched in 2018. We continue to push the boundaries of strength training. Join us in making your training more natural and effective. Visit Engels90.com to learn more and revolutionize your workout.
Looking for tickets to the hottest shows, games, and events? Ticket Liquidator is your one-stop shop for great prices, no hassles, and guaranteed tickets. Whether it's sports, theater, or concert, for the best seats at the biggest events, start with Ticket Liquidator today at ticketliquidator.com. Ticket Liquidator.
Introducing Bark in the Belly Premium Dog Food. 100% of profits go to help dogs in need.
Over 30% of adults struggle with chronic foot and joint pain, and many face mobility limitations as they age. But a revolutionary Comfort First slipper has taken the wellness world by storm. Try Cloud Slides and feel you are walking on the clouds. Cloud Slides.
Hello and welcome on in. It's the Wicked Boston Show on Rogue Media Sports Network with your host, Cam Stewart, Zach Burke behind the glass, keeping us on the air. We're here live on YouTube as we are every weekday and then available wherever you get your podcasts as well. Closing out 2025 with you. We have got to talk Patriots because we know they're in the playoffs. We know they're the division champs, and we know pretty much that they're going to be the number 2 seed. So who are the Patriots going to play in the super wacky, super califragilistic wild card weekend? And what is the best matchup for the Patriots? Are we going to get the coveted third time's a charm rematch versus the Buffalo Bills? Plus, we will have Jack Studley of Boston Hockey Now joining to talk about how the wheels have fallen off this Bruins team if the tank is back on, and the sneaky positive with this Bruins franchise that a lot of you might be missing right now, but it's right under our noses. Plus, speaking of teams that play in the Garden, Jaylen Brown and the Boston Celtics have shocked everyone this year. JB is going for a Larry Bird Celtics record tonight, and why the numbers he's putting up this year could actually be scary for Celtics fans expecting a Jayson Tatum, Jaylen Brown dynasty. All that and more coming up on this episode of the Wicked Boston Show with Cam Stewart. The Patriots have wrapped up the AFC East. They're probably sitting at the number 2 seed in the AFC playoffs when we kick it off a week from Saturday. And now the question is, who do you want to play? If you're a Patriots fan, who do you want on the other side of this? And the first thing that came to my mind is the team that they're matched up against in the playoff bracket if things ended today. Right now, if the playoffs started, it would be the New England Patriots versus the Buffalo Bills for the third time this season. And quite honestly, as a fan, that's what I want. And if you ask the NFL league offices, that's what they want. You ask the Buffalo Bills and their fans, that's what they want. You ask either of those two head coaches in a moment of brutal honesty, that's who they want. Patriots Bills would be the highlight of the great weekend of wild card football. It's the best NFL weekend of the year. That would be the showpiece game and would probably be the Saturday night game because that's what Robert Kraft loves. But seriously, I mean, this is a 65-year-old rivalry here. It's a legit rivalry. There's been constant comparisons between the two quarterbacks in the last 2 seasons and constant comparisons between these two teams this year. Because even with the Patriots sitting there at 13-3 right now, AFC East champs with a week to spare and still with a shot at the number 1 seed and probably the MVP at quarterback, still the larger NFL media thinks the Bills are a better team, thinks the Bills are the team that's going to go to the Super Bowl out of the AFC. So there's no respect given to this Patriots team. And if you want to say, hey, they haven't earned it because they haven't been in the playoffs for 4 years, okay, fine. I don't know exactly what the Bills have done to earn this kind of certainty that they're the representatives of the AFC, but hey, I can at least understand your argument from that side of things. It's never easy to play a team for a third time. And I know that there are a lot of Patriots fans out there who maybe don't want the Bills because they remember 2021 following pretty much this exact formula, right? Young quarterback wearing number 10. In that case, it was Mac Jones. They went up in a primetime game. This year it was Sunday Night Football. That time it was Monday Night Football. And the Patriots win by 3. We know that in 2021, it was a lot more fluky. It was a crazy weather game with insane winds, and the Patriots completed 1 pass and won the game. Like that is the fluke to end all flukes. And then you had a game in December in Foxborough where Josh Allen put on the Superman cape and the Patriots defense couldn't stop them. And they won by a score, pretty much the same score, actually. This time it was 35-31, blowing a 21-0 lead. Patriots lose both of those games. And then in 2021, they matched up in Buffalo, which maybe they'd want here because they're 8-0 on the road this year. And you remember, they got their doors absolutely blown off. And it was a disappointing end to what was a once promising season. This Patriots team is not going to be limping into the postseason like that team was. This is a chance to reverse the fortunes here, get your revenge, and really prove to people, the people who apparently need proving to, that you can take on the quote-unquote best in the AFC and take them down. And whomever's building it is, because the Bills could likely be a favorite if this was the matchup and it was in Foxborough. That's how much Vegas and the NFL media is still loving this Bills team. So I think this would be a perfect matchup for the Patriots. If nothing else, for pure entertainment value. Like that's what you want to see in the NFL playoffs. You know, you don't want to face this team that's barely limping in there. I mean, it's great because you'll end up winning a playoff game. But if you take down Buffalo and Josh Allen, Superman Josh Allen, in the first round of the playoffs, the sky is truly the limit. And so I think this would be perfect. I think it would be perfect for Patriots fans, for Bills fans, and perfect for the NFL. It would be appointment television. It would probably be one of the highest rated games of the year if you put it on that Saturday night. And that would be the matchup if the season ended today. Here's the problem. The season does not end today. It does not. As much as we would love that 2-7 matchup, I'm telling you that's probably not going to happen, even though that's the matchup right now. Because what will probably happen is the Bills will beat the Jets because everyone beats the Jets. The Patriots will beat the Dolphins if they're trying because everyone beats the Dolphins when they're trying. Well, except the Bills, of course. But their schedule is such a gauntlet. And what will almost certainly happen is the Broncos will beat the Chargers and wrap up the number 1 seed because the Chargers have already told you, we're not playing our starters. Justin Herbert's not going to play in this game. So they're mailing it in. They know they're going on the road anyway. What's the point? And so if the Bills win, the Patriots win, and the Broncos win, that would mean Buffalo moves up to the 6th seed, and the Patriots would welcome in the team formerly known as the San Diego Chargers. Justin Herbert, Joe Alt, and the rest of the gang into Foxborough for Wild Card Weekend. That's probably the matchup. And as much as I would love to see the Bills on the other side for the entertainment value, if you're looking for a good chance to win a playoff game, having the Chargers in town is a good thing for the Patriots. It's a good thing. Oh, but Justin Herbert, so elite in hypothetical scenarios. How can we go there? It's crazy, I know. And the better argument is the Chargers have a really good defense. In fact, a much better defense than the Buffalo Bills. So why are we hoping that the Chargers would get in there? They're 4th in total defense in the entire league. Well, here's why. Here's why you can have confidence as a Patriots fan. Because much as people want to talk about their schedule, Patriots have faced a top 10 defense 4 times this year. And Drake May's numbers against those defenses, 72 of 103, 70% completion percentage, 971 yards, 243 yards per game, 6 touchdowns, 2 picks, and a 3-1 record. That's pretty good, especially including the fact that you can take this as a positive or a negative, that those are the numbers, even with one of those games being one of Drake's worst games of the season. And he's still averaging 243 yards per game through the air. 6 touchdowns, 2 picks. It's a 3-1 ratio. Justin Herbert's 2-1 against everyone this year. So I would like the Patriots odds there. Chargers run defense, pretty stout. Also top 10 in the league. But somehow it's still worse than the Patriots. And we know how much the Patriots run defense has dramatically dipped the last 6 weeks of the year, 7 weeks of the year. It's trending as poorly as it has all season, and still they're ahead of the Chargers. And here's where it does get a little tricky. The Patriots have only faced one top 10 rush defense this entire season. It was Tampa. Patriots obviously won that game. They ran for 166. Won't say it's a fluky 166, but 2 of them were on a 65 and a 55-yard, or 69 and a 55-yard touchdown run from Travion Henderson. So 2 giant plays in the run game, 2 of the best run plays they've had all season. And by the way, no Ramondre Stevenson in that game, who has been massive for the Patriots the last couple of weeks. But I'll tell you the number one thing I like about a matchup with the LA Chargers, more so than the fact that it's not Josh Allen, more so than the fact that they have to travel across the country to come and play here. No, even more than that. What I really like about the Patriots potentially facing the Chargers in the playoffs is the fact that it's the Chargers in the playoffs. That's my favorite part. I mean, you don't need me to tell you. If you're under the age of, 70, you understand that the Chargers and the playoffs do not mix. They don't mix well anyway. And the most recent evidence you could use from that is not the blown 4-score lead against the Jacksonville Jaguars a couple years ago. No, the most recent example you have of this is last week. Chargers had a quasi-playoff game. They were going for the AFC West divisional title, and they were still in the hunt last week, going against a good Texans team. A Texans team I don't want to see in the playoffs. And they already started choking. Like, we're talking Chargers special here. I'm talking a tip ball interception at the goal line. Dicker the kicker missing his first field goal inside of 40 yards in his entire career, and going on to shank an extra point as well. That's 4 easy points right off the board. They lost by, 4 points. Or how about when they got a major third down sack on the final drive of the game for the Texans and were about to get off the field, give their team a chance, only to have it wiped out with an illegal contact penalty. Automatic first down, Texans run out the clock. You know, it's a year-to-year league. It really is. And if the quarterback has a good game, almost none of this stuff matters. But one of the absolutes in life is that the Chargers, no matter where they're playing or where their home is, love to choke in big games. They love it. They live for it. And so you're talking about cold weather across the country, Justin Herbert. I really like the Patriots odds there. I really like the Patriots chances. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. We come at you live on YouTube every weekday, noon Eastern time, and then we're available wherever you get your podcasts as well. Your lunchtime alternative to Boston Sports Talk Radio. It is right here on the Wicked Boston Show with Cam Stewart. When we come back, we're going to shift gears to the Bruins a little bit. The wheels are falling off the wagon. Is the tank back on? And is there something really positive happening with the Bruins right in front of our eyes, even in the midst of this 6-game losing streak? Ooh. Jack Studley of Boston Hockey Now will be joining us to break it all down next on the Wicked Boston Show.
Circulon C1 Series Clad with Scratch Defense Non-Stick. Maximize cooking, minimize cleaning. Discover the unmatched durability and elegance scratch-free, worry-free, forever.
At Covers & All, we've revolutionized protective solutions with cutting-edge, customizable covers, tarps, and curtains. We deliver premier protection at affordable prices and express shipping. Visit coversandall.com today for the perfect fit, guaranteed to last.
Send money abroad in just a few steps with Remitly. Sign up with your email, enter an amount, choose how your loved ones receive the money, enter your recipient's information, select a payment method, hit send, and relax. Download the Remitly app today.
Experience the future of secure private cloud storage with Internix. Protect your files with end-to-end encryption, ensuring your data stays private and accessible only to you. That's INTERNXT.com today.
Welcome to Market XLS, your all-in-one Excel solution for investors. Designed as an enterprise-grade platform, Market XLS caters to investment managers, secure and efficient investment management and research. Book your free demo.
What if you could clean clean? With bio-based formulas and deep cleaning enzymes. No dyes, phthalates, or mystery ingredients. Just powerful pods for your dishes and laundry. Now you can, with drops made clean, made to clean.
Back to the show, the Wicked Boston Show on Rogue Media Sports Network. I'm your host, Cam Stewart. Zach Burke behind the glass, keeping us on the air 5 days a week, live on YouTube, and then available wherever you get your podcasts as well. Man, nothing brings out the Bruins gear in me like a 6-game losing streak. They throw away another one last night on the West Coast in Calgary. And suddenly, after looking like a playoff team for the first couple of months and scrappy and fun and kind of that Bruin identity, it looks like, well, as Dennis Green said, they are who we thought they were. They're just not a very good team. And the tank might be back on. But the person who can best answer that for us is my next guest. And that is from Boston Hockey Now, Jack Studley. Jack, let's just start with it. Is the tank back on? I'd love to hear it, but I can't hear you. You might be muted there. There we go.
There we go. How about now?
I
would love to say yes. Yeah, starting hot. I would like to say yes, but I don't think so. I think that the Bruins team we got in front of us is still going to fight. They're not going to give up on these games like we saw last night. If you stayed up late for that Calgary game, they were in it till the end. So I know. Fuck it. I
did. Yeah.
I'm on Calgary time right now, but still in Dorchester. But they're gonna fight. It seems like, and I hate to say the word tank because it seemingly never works. Like, look at how the draft lottery went last year with the Islanders and Utah moving up. Like the Bruins were projected to have a top 5 pick, fell to 7 in the end. We'll take what we got, but the tanking worries me, and I think this team that they have, they might not be good enough for the playoffs, but they're good enough to compete in games, and that's what they're going to do. They're going to play to that structure that Sturm has been preaching all season long, and that the players have been talking, especially in post games recently, about getting back to.
Yeah, so certainly let's talk about the logic of the tank here. Let's really get into the nitty gritty of this, because there are definitely those teams that have been in kind of perpetual tank the last 5, 6, 7 years, right? Your San Jose's, your Chicago's, Buffalo, kind of, although they're obviously playing great.
Not anymore.
Now they're playing great. This is the year, Jack. But so that doesn't look like it works. But like when you look at the Cup champs, Florida had a couple of their own top 5 picks and a couple of other people's top 5 picks. Vegas had a number 2 overall pick in Jack Eichel, lead them to the Cup. Stamkos a long time later, but a number 1 pick. McKinnon, a number 1 pick. McDavid, a number 1 pick. So do you think at some point you have to have somebody who you get in the top 10 or the top 5 of the draft to really be a Cup contender in this league?
I think you do, but it could also come like the Bruins won Cups with Bergeron and Krejci. Neither of them were top 5, top 10.
Yeah.
So I think, but they contended for a few with those guys, and I wouldn't say that they were a top 10. It's possible, but definitely, like if you look at a team like Florida and the way that they're constructed, they have a lot of top draft, like high drafted talent, and they've put them together. Like even Seth Jones came back, had an unbelievable season last year with the Panthers in the back half. Like you thought his career was just kind of rotting in Chicago at that point.
Yeah.
So
Bennett, Reinhart, those 2 guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Well. Yep.
2 guys as well that were high picks that weren't really panning out. I mean, Buffalo at that time, you couldn't get any pick to pan out. But the way that Florida has it is truly special with the amount of the high draft talent they have. But I think it can be done elsewhere. And we'll get into it, but I do think that the guys that the Bruins have in their system could down the line get them to the place they need to be.
It feels so good to hear that and to say that, and I almost want to get right into it, but we're going to. We're going to. So that last night, you take the penalty at the end of regulation, you give up a power play goal to the worst power play in the league, but at some point, if you keep giving them chances, that's what's going to happen. So it's now 6 losses in a row. It's been a couple of weeks since they've won a hockey game. What has been the biggest contributing factor to this losing streak and this just complete reversal in form?
Yeah, something I've noticed has been just the penalties. Like we talked about for last night's game, Aspero's high sticking there with zeros on the clock really came back to bite the Bruins. And it's been the case. Like, look at the Montreal game. 7. Montreal had 7 power play opportunities. And that's something that the Bruins they're the most penalized team in the league this year. I think it's 538 penalty minutes, and they've been shorthanded about 150 times, give or take a few there. Those are first in the league. It's not close. So penalties, staying out of the box has been something it's really getting at the Bruins. It's really during this 6-game skid, it's really taking a toll on the way that the Bruins are playing right now because other teams are going to score, and the penalty kill, which was in the top 10 before this losing streak, has fallen, and it's now 19th, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't see how it changed after last night, but even allowing a goal last night doesn't help that ranking at all. So it's been the penalties that have really been driving the Bruins up a wall here, or I guess down the wall here in their last 6.
Yeah, and I mean it kind of goes without saying, but like a team with a talent deficiency, just you can't live like that. I mean, really, almost no team, not named the Florida Panthers, can live like that. But yes, the Bruins are leading the league in penalties and penalty minutes, and Big Zaddy is the individual leader in penalty minutes again, going for back-to-back here, going for the back-to-back crown. And it was. I got a chuckle last night, Jack, like before the game. Judd's doing kind of the opening intro there, and he's talking about the penalty kill, which is probably still fine, but they just go to the box so much that it's bound to break down. And he says, finally the Bruins did not give up a power play goal on Saturday to Buffalo. It was the first time in 8 games or something they hadn't given up a power play goal. And I was like, great. They lost by 3, but at least they didn't give up one of those. And now it's 9 out of 10 because they give one up in overtime. Certainly that stuck out to me as like, you just can't afford that when you have this kind of talent here. And obviously a deficiency. We knew that with this roster going into the year. And I think when we looked at it, we said David Pastrnak, gap, everybody else. And Morgan Geeky's having a great season, so he's probably closed that gap a little bit, but there's still not a lot underneath those guys. And you add to that it looks like David Pastrnak is not 100%. And he moves down to the third line last night. That's not a normal thing. See if he can get some good chemistry with Fraser Minton or something. But it's clearly he's not all the way healthy. The team is really in a bad way right now. What does that say about David Pastrnak, though, who gets not a ton of heat, but probably more heat than he should in this town, that he is out there playing through it?
Yeah, I think it goes to show the character he's got and the leadership that he has in the room, where he wants to stay out there. He wants to keep playing with these guys. But it has been a little slow. I saw a tweet, I forget who had it, so I can't give them proper credit, but Pastrnak had his first 5-on-5 goal for the first time in like 14 games. He had been kind of slow at the 5-on-5, all of his goals since his injury came on the power play. So maybe there is something still lingering with him, and the fact that he's out there and he can play is a true testament to his character. I do also think that there has to be something with him. Like you just said, the gap there. The Bruins, remember that Rangers game the day after Thanksgiving without Pastrnak? That was brutal. It was not a good game. It was not close. The Rangers had that game. It was 6-2. It felt like it was worse. So that was no Pastrnak. We can see what it's like without David Pastrnak in the lineup. I wonder if that makes him want to tough it out and play more. And then also I want to circle back to the penalty kill. Because we said 9 out of the 10 they've allowed the goals, but it's only because they're in the box so much.
Yeah, you just keep
last night. Up. Yeah, against Montreal. Last night, the 5-on-4 kill was great. They just allowed, against Montreal, it was a 5-on-3. It was 2 5-on-3 goals, and last night it was a 4-on-3 goal. So it seems like that could be trending in the right direction, but just overall, the penalty kill, when you give up that many penalties, they're going to score. It's just the way the game works. But yeah, for Pastrnak, he's not a penalty killer, but back to him, we'll bounce around a little bit. I think he's just, everybody kind of knows that there's no captain. It really seems like it's down to a few guys that are wearing the A right now with Pastrnak, McAvoy. It even throws Zadorov in the mix, but probably lean towards McAvoy or Pastrnak. And it's just, he's ready to will this team, put him on his back. After the game against Montreal, he took ownership of he said, "This is on me." So I think there's something to that, to his game, the professionalism, the leadership part of his game that's really taking over here as the Bruins he's trying to help pick the Bruins up from a 6-game slump, because I think without a guy like Pastrnak, that could be worse.
Yeah, and it's kind of, you threw it in there, but like, it is important. David Pasternak's not a penalty killer. And it seems so basic, but for the first time in a generation, the Bruins can't keep their best forward or two on the ice on the penalty kill. Like, Florida leads the league in penalty minutes last year, and they walked to the cup because, in part because you put out a Panthers penalty kill and it still has Sasha Barkov on it. It still has Brad Marchand on it. At some points it had Sam Reinhart on it, which seems crazy, but they did that. With the Bruins, you don't have David Pastrnak or Morgan Geekie on the ice. Those are your two scoring threats. And you end up taking away from their ice time. There's no Bergeron or Marchand or obviously, Chara, even someone like Krejci who would be out there. So that is a big kind of basic loss. So, all right, things aren't going well, Jack. All right. The tank might not be on, but don't know if this team is going anywhere this year.
It's risky. They might not play well, but hopefully the lottery can go in their favor if they're not, in the top 5.
I hope it goes in our favor, not the Leafs' favor. But all that to say, they're probably going to be selling off parts at the trade deadline. And we have not quite hit the 2026 part of the 2025-26 season, but it's time to ask the question. If you had to do it right now, Jack, who is the number one trade chip on this Bruins team?
I think it's in between. I got 2.
Okay.
Andrew Peeke and Victor Arvidsson, solely because they're on expiring contracts. I think those are the first 2 to go. You might be able to get something out of Peeke. I like Buffalo if they're still playing well for Peeke, Jarmo Kekalainen. But Victor Arvidsson, the Bruins gave up a 5th, took on the money. I think he's got a no move clause, so he has to accept a trade like he did when he came to Boston. But I think if you're on an expiring deal, it expires 4 months from the trade deadline, and you have a chance to go either stay on a kind of subpar Bruins team or go play for a contender. Victor Arvidsson might waive that to go play for a contender. So I think those are the first 2 guys that you would think that come off the board. And it's just naturally Middlestat and Zaka and/or just because they've been in rumors all year. If teams are looking for that second line center, either one of them can play that role, or if they just need a second line winger, because either one of them can play that role too. Some teams might call the Bruins, and I could see a return for Zaka would obviously yield the greatest return, but I do think a Middlestat return would also look pretty favorable for the Bruins.
Man, Middlestat looked like Casey Middlestat last night. He looked like the Middlestat that Colorado was all too happy to part with around this time. Well, not this time, it was March of last year. Let's look at, speaking of that specific trade, if you want something positive with the Boston Bruins right now, the best thing you could do is not watch the Boston Bruins, but rather tune in, unfortunately, to NHL Network to watch the World Juniors. Talking with Jack Studley of Boston Hockey Now. And Jack, this has been a Bruins showcase for Team USA at the World Juniors. Last night, it pops off again. Will Zeller scores another goal, his 4th in 3 games. James Higgins gets 2, including the game tire and the go-ahead goal in the 3rd period, early in the 3rd period. How impressive has this been to watch from a Bruins fan standpoint?
Every bit of impressive. It's awesome to see these guys developing. I saw it over the summer with the way that they could play at Dev Camp, but seeing it on the ice at one of the bigger stages for U20, at the biggest stage for U20, has been unbelievable. Zeller's, my favorite part about it is that he's on the 4th line. Now, I know all the goals have been coming on the power play, or they hadn't been until last night, but Zellers was producing on the 4th line, and then they bumped him up to the 3rd line. So he's been playing bottom 6 minutes. Yeah, they're giving him runs in the power play, but up until last night, the U.S. power play hadn't connected once on their 6 attempts. And then put Will Zellers on the ice. He goes and he gets the assist. He goes and he gets the goal. And then, so yeah, somebody like that, especially when you consider that the Bruins had 0 prospects last year at the World Juniors, to now have 2, and I'd almost say Vasek Planar's there. He's not playing. He's not on the roster yet, but he's there. To go from 0 to 2.5, and have the 2 guys that are playing contribute, like they're putting meaningful minutes in. They're on the score sheet. Has been something positive for Bruins fans to really take away from this.
It's been huge, man. And I know a lot of people are still kind of figuring out Will Zellers, right? Like he was obviously a long shot prospect at this point last year, even though he's having a great year in the USHL. He's taken quickly to North Dakota. And now here he is, like the biggest tournament of his life so far. And he's showing up big time. And people are not only talking about the goals, but there are people talking about his defense in there. And the fact that he's getting in those, grimy areas, he's kind of earned his spot on the team that way. So has that been kind of the most impressive part for Will Zellers about how he can round out his game in a way in this week and a half long tournament?
Yeah, 100%. And you're seeing it with the way he's playing on the back end. And I think that kind of goes to the credit that he deserves for making this team after being a late invite. Like they obviously saw something with him that certain Bruins fans saw when they saw that he wasn't invited. But now everybody can see it. He's taken he even had 2 goals in the pre-tournament game. So this has just been the wheels are rolling for Zellers. I mean, it's been great to watch his game. I can't say I've caught too much of North Dakota's hockey this year, but to be able to see Zellers play at the U.S. level, he's not playing with Hagens, but on the same team as Hagens, is something really exciting to the eye.
Yeah. I'm not going to have you give me an exact timeline here or anything, Jack, but I'm just as we watch this, we've seen his numbers this season. We're seeing the development at World Juniors. We know Hagens could well be a Bruin in April. That's a realistic possibility. But with Zellers, in the matter of a couple of months, it's looked like 4 years, 3 years to could you see him at the end of next year? Could you see him at the beginning of 27, 28? Just do you think this has moved the needle at all in terms of his timeline?
I think it's definitely sped it up. The 3-4 years seems a little far-fetched at this point, just because of the way he's going. But I think this year would be too soon. He's still a freshman at North Dakota. Let him play there. I like the little feature they did on him yesterday where they're talking about his dad playing at North Dakota. He was born to be at North Dakota. Let him go enjoy his college. Let him go rip it up for North Dakota because they're an unbelievable hockey program. They've always been, and they will continue to be for a long time. So it's not going to hurt the Bruins to move him up. I actually think it would hurt the Bruins to move him up early. So let him keep playing, let him dominate, let him grow into his game at college. And then I think by the end of next season, or like you said, the start of the 27-28 season, Zellers could be making an impression at camp, or after the college season's over, you could just hop on like I'd expect Hagens to be doing at the end of this college season.
Yeah. North Dakota's developed some guys. For those of you who haven't checked in, they've developed some guys. Johnny Taves,
just some guys.
Brock Besser, ever heard of them? Yeah, they've had some guys coming out there, and Keaton Verhoff will be potentially one of the best of the bunch, which kind of leads me into my next question, because you talk about the Bruins having anywhere between 2 and 2.5 prospects at the World Juniors right now. I'm willing to say they might have 3 or 4, Jack, because there's a bunch of guys playing in this tournament that have their draft year coming up right now. And there's some for Team USA that we've been able to watch. And look, the way it's going and the way the Leafs are going, there's a chance the Bruins have 2 picks in the top 10 or 15 in the draft. So is there anyone that is in their draft year this year that's been catching your eye, or at least one that you're like, hey, this is someone that might fill a Bruins need in the draft and it's someone to look at?
Yeah, for both of I got one guy that answers both of those questions. He both fills a need, and I think he'll be there in the top round. And he's on Team USA. It's Chase Reed.
Yeah,
I've really liked watching his game. He's noticeable. He's all over the puck. He played on that first pair with Cole Hudson the other day. They looked great. He's a right-handed shot, tall defenseman, exactly what the Bruins are looking for. They need a right-handed shot. That side is depleted if you look down the depth chart. So a guy like Chase Reed definitely pops off the screen as like a hello. Like, this is eligible for this year's draft. Bruins could be picking high. Hopefully their eyes are on him. I'd imagine they would be if Hagens and Zellers are on that team, just to make sure they got some eyes there. But yeah, I really like Chase Reed's game. I would expect the Bruins to be looking at him pretty closely.
Yeah, he is one of the big undrafted names here. And by the way, happy birthday. He's 18 today, Jack.
Wow, happy birthday.
Today, Chase Reed. He's going into that draft year. An impressive game last night, even for a 6-5. I think it ended up being the final against Slovakia. A kind of a weird, wild game. And to say a defenseman had a good game feels weird. But I feel like he did. That is that was the exact name, as you could tell, that I was looking at for Team USA and obviously for the Bruins. So if you're not checking out the World Juniors and you're a Bruins fan, you want to get excited about the future, that is the way to do it. Unfortunately, you got to do the EJ Radick broadcast on NHL Network, which is just is just brutal.
I'll take that over the Canadian guys.
You like it better than TSN?
I'll take it over the Canadian guys just because Craig Button's on the scene. I'm not a Craig Button guy. And when I listened to him call that first game of the tournament, I was like, I can't do this if it's him on the United States. I'll watch it with mute.
Was it Button who went in on Middlestat earlier this year?
Yes.
It's just like a tirade. That was kind of funny. Like, I don't know if he's really wrong or not, but it was just like clearly someone in the Middlestat camp had upset Craig Button, and he just kind of went off. I mean, look, anytime I'm rooting and watching for the USA, it might be tough to turn on TSN. I just like that NHL Network broadcast just sucks. And it does for the NHL games too. Like it's just all the way around. It just sucks. And I hate that that's our only option. But Jack, there's two ways to get excited for the Bruins and keep up to date on the Bruins. That's watching the World Juniors and following your work on Boston Hockey Now. So how can people find your stuff and what have you got in the oven here?
Yeah, definitely check out my Twitter, Jack Studley 13. I post everything that I do there, but also BostonHockeyNow.com. Again, everything I do is posted there as well. So that's been it's been a lot of coverage over the last week or so, and it's only going to keep going. So keep an eye on my Twitter for stuff like the articles, but also like some graphics I've thrown out there with some stats.
Good graphics, man. We used it on the Garden Level Pod, which dropped today through a Rogue Media Network, which Jack has also been on. So
excited to listen to that one.
Well,
yeah, thank you. So stay tuned for all of that stuff, and then Boston Hockey Now for all the written stuff. And it's been a blast.
Yeah, and we look forward to having you on again soon, Jack. Always appreciate your time and your coverage of the Bruins and the baby Bruins, the future Bruins as well. So, Jack, always appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Cam. I appreciate it.
Anytime. There he goes. Jack Studley, Boston Hockey Now. Check him out. We'll certainly have him on the Wicked Boston show once again throughout this season, looking at trade deadline, looking at draft position, and certainly the end of this World Juniors tournament. So what are you looking forward to with this Bruins team, or maybe this Bruins franchise? Let me know in the comment section below. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. We come at you live on YouTube every weekday, noon Eastern time, and then available wherever you get your podcasts as well. Your lunchtime alternative to Boston Sports Talk Radio. It's right here on the Wicked Boston Show. When we come back, let's take it to the hardwood. Let's really round out this episode here with three different sports. Jaylen Brown is kind of quietly putting up an MVP season. And maybe more importantly for Celtics fans, he is attacking a Larry Bird record tonight. But is that bad for the future of the Celtics? We'll tell you about it next on the Wicked Boston Show.
Holiday football has arrived. With DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, the unexpected can turn game day into payday. And don't forget, DraftKings has your back with early exit. If your player goes down in the first half, you still get paid in cash. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code CAMSHOW. That's code CAMSHOW. New customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins instantly. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 8778-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 8887-897777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas, pass-through of per wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction, void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio limited time offer.
Circulon C1 Series Clad with Scratch Defense Non-Stick. Maximize cooking, minimize cleaning. Discover the unmatched durability and elegance scratch-free, worry-free, forever.
At Covers and All, we've revolutionized protective solutions with cutting-edge, customizable covers, tarps, and curtains. We deliver premier protection at affordable prices and express shipping. Visit coversandall.com today for the perfect fit, guaranteed to last.
Send money abroad in just a few steps with Remitly. Sign up with your email, enter an amount, choose how your loved ones receive the money, enter your recipient's information, select a payment method, hit send, and relax. Download the Remitly app today.
Experience the future of secure private cloud storage with Internix. Protect your files with end-to-end encryption, ensuring your data stays private and accessible only to you. That's INTERNXT.com today.
Welcome to Market XLS, your all-in-one Excel solution for investors. Designed as an enterprise-grade platform, Market XLS caters to investment managers, secure and efficient investment management and research. Book your free demo.
What if you could clean? With bio-based formulas and deep cleaning enzymes. No dyes, phthalates, or mystery ingredients. Just powerful pods for your dishes and laundry. Now you can, with drops made clean, made to clean.
Welcome back, Wicked Boston Show, Rogue Media Sports Network. Your host, Cam Stewart here, Zach Burke behind the glass, keeping us on the air every weekday live at noon Eastern time on YouTube, and then wherever you get your podcasts as well. I teased the Celtics segment about Jaylen Brown, which I had gotten all ready to do. Some good stuff about his MVP case and what NBA superstar he might be in the mold of right now and why it might be time for Jaylen Brown to take the next step. But something bigger has come across our desk here. Breaking news this afternoon. Stefon Diggs, the Patriots' #1 receiver, has been charged with felony strangulation and assault. This is just coming across kind of the airwaves here, so information is pretty bare, but that's exactly it. Stefon Diggs, felony strangulation. This is coming from CBS Boston in the Dedham District County Court. The Patriots have already issued a statement, which I will read now. The New England Patriots are aware of the accusations that have been made regarding Stefon Diggs. Stefon has informed the organization that he categorically denies the allegations. We support Stefon. We will continue to gather information and will cooperate fully with the appropriate authorities in the NFL as necessary. Out of respect for all parties involved, and given that this is an ongoing legal matter, we will have no further comment at this time. And there really are not a lot of details being leaked, at least right now. He's scheduled to be in court on January 23rd, which is a Friday before the AFC Championship game. So the Patriots could still be in season. In terms of what we know right now, it's kind of all up in the air as to whether Stefon Diggs is going to play. It might be a good idea for the Patriots if some smoke starts to gather through the next couple of days to maybe sit him on Sunday, because Patriots should be going for it. They should be trying to win and potentially get that #1 seed, but they're probably not going to get it. And this is how we're going to have to look at it through a football standpoint, since we don't have any of the real details here. Could be a massive loss for the Patriots. And what kind of intrigues me about this more than anything is like the up and down nature, so to speak, of Stefon's time with the team. You know, we raved about him last week. He obviously had that big game at Baltimore. He had a big game against the Jets again. And I was talking about it with Mike Debate last Monday about, like, man, he's putting up big numbers in big games, but he also seems to be like a real leader on this team. You know, the guys on the team are raving about him whenever they've been asked about Stefon. And he had, in the fourth quarter of that Ravens game when they were down 11, the NBC camera caught him. Like, he was the one on the sidelines telling guys, keep your head up, keep your head up. We're still in this thing. We're still in this. And lo and behold, they absolutely were still in it, and they came back. And so you look at that, and you look at kind of the leader that Stefon Diggs has been all season for the Patriots, and how well he's produced on the field. If he played on Sunday, he'll get 1,000 yards. But on the flip side of it, you look at how he's been in the headlines in the 9 months that he's been a New England Patriot. It's pink cocaine with a bunch of ladies that aren't his BM and felony strangulation and assault from December 2nd. So it's really kind of a weird duality here. You're getting in front of the camera, leader, number one receiver, Captain Lee, Stefon Diggs, and behind the scenes, you're getting a completely different story. Not that that's new necessarily in the NFL, and obviously this is innocent until proven guilty. We don't know any of these, the credibility of any of these allegations yet, because no details have come out. But it's frustrating. It is really frustrating. And again, looking at it from a football standpoint, because that's all we can do right now, it's frustrating for the Patriots. You've had a bunch of guys out, and this is your veteran leader. This is one of the few guys on your team that's played in a lot of big games. You're going into your biggest games of the season, and he may not be available. And again, not a new thing in the NFL. You went through this last year with Jabril Peppers. That was an ugly situation. And it looks like it's rearing its ugly head again. Off the field stuff for a team that has been so good this year at kind of staying out of the limelight, staying out of the negative headlines. This is one of the guys that's supposed to be your leaders, and this comes across a week and a half before your first playoff game in 4 years. That's not good, Bob. It's not good. It is not good. Again, no details yet. So I don't know that you can hold Stefon Diggs out of games based off these reports, because there's nothing that's been proven. And that's going to sound awful if this thing does get proven correct. But if you're the Patriots right now, like, what do you do? What are you supposed to do? Like, let alone that he's your number one receiver. Like, there's nothing to go off of yet. If you were to do that, you'd be no better than Goodell during Deflategate. Not going off any facts and just going off your vibes. But in a lot of these, when there's smoke, there's some fire. And this is not a good look for the Patriots or for Stefon Diggs right now. I know a lot of people are probably going to say, this happened 4 weeks ago, and now they're only coming out before the playoffs. This is just someone looking for attention. These things kind of take time. 4 weeks is not crazy, not that crazy a timeline to put a case together here, especially against someone as rich and as powerful as Stefon Diggs in the middle of a Renaissance NFL season for the number 2 seed. This is fresh breaking news on this Tuesday afternoon here, but Stefon Diggs' future is up in the air. The short-term future for the New England Patriots and their number one receiver, because of something that, if true, is undoubtedly abhorrent and really stupid. But we know next to nothing right now. Let me know what you think. What does this mean for the Patriots? What does this mean for Stefon Diggs? Let me know in the comments section below. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Appreciate you guys joining in, whether it's live on YouTube, later on YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts as well. We're live on YouTube every weekday, noon Eastern time, and then wherever you get your podcasts. It is your lunchtime alternative to Boston Sports Talk Radio right here on the Wicked Boston Show. appreciate Zach and getting that new banner, that new headline up quickly. That was something we kind of saw right in the commercial break there. It was supposed to be a Jaylen Brown segment. We will certainly have some Jaylen Brown talk, some Boston Celtics talk tomorrow, but not the headline you were looking to see if you're a Patriots fan right now. Not great. Anyway, thank you to Zach. Thank you to Jack Studley for coming on and doing a great Bruins breakdown for us and looking at the World Juniors and the prospects that the Bruins have there. And thank you guys for tuning in. We will see you tomorrow, high noon Eastern time, on the Wicked Boston Show.
Relax with Hemp Delicious. Organically grown hemp, massively blended with delicious organic herbs, responsibly sourced for their holistic benefits. Each sip offers calming, antioxidant-rich wellness. Brewed just for you. Sip the calm with Hemp Delicious.
At Open Goal USA, we're revolutionizing training for both soccer and lacrosse with our innovative portable rebounders. Perfect for players of all ages and skill levels. Visit OpenGOAAALUSA.com and elevate your training today.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farm, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com.
Get paid faster with Bill, the easiest way to send, receive, and manage your payments. No more delays, no more hassle. Whether you're a freelancer or a business, Bill makes payments seamless and secure, simple, fast, and reliable. Sign up today at Bill.com. We are Rogue Media Sports.